Welcome to my living room, and we are going to start our next tutorial, and this is the Christmas ball wreath, and I'm going to provide a link in the more information of this video if you're looking for ideas on what to do. First thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to do a little bit of shopping. You're going to have to get yourself some balls, and this is just what we need to do is get a standard coat hanger, and what we need up here is that we just need to untangle the top section. I've already done a little bit of it already, so that it opens up, so you don't need a wire cutters or anything, and then we start bending this into a circle. So I'm going to pretend that I've just done that because I don't want to waste your time. So you bend it into the most perfect circle that you can possibly get, and because you're not going to see the wire, if it's not totally perfect, whatever, it's not a big deal. So that's the first thing we need to do. So you're going to have to go out and get your balls, and you're going to need at least almost 80 balls. And yes, that's a lot of balls, but but what I found, I went to a store and apparently they had these big canisters here, and they were 32 balls inside for only $9.99, and they were clearance half price. And they're only plastic balls, but that's not a big deal, and they work for me. The next step you need to do is that you need to grab each ball, and so I use silver, purple, and pink are my colors, and next week this whole house is going to get transformed over. And what we need to do is that you need to get yourself a glue gun. Okay, so if you have a glue gun, crafting glue gun, this would be perfect. And do you see these little knobs that are in the top? Well, these have a lot of pressure because they're being fastened to the wire. So what we need to do before you put it onto the wire, you have to glue in around the top section there so that these things don't pop off. And again, these are just plastic balls. The next step, what we need to do is, now that you got the glue on, is that now you are just going to be putting these on top onto the actual ring, just like so. And they're going to fall where they may. And so the thing about these things is that you want to make it three-dimensional, so you're going to need a lot of balls in order to create it, because it has to go all the way around the ring. That's why you need so many of them. So once we get that done, you're going to really you'll find yourself adjusting. I would put them on top when you're lying this down and feeding them on. I would put them down on a towel so you don't scratch these balls, because they are plastic, and if you're going to use glass you want to be delicate. So I put this down on a towel when you're feeding this all along. And you're going to do it until you're totally packed in all the way around, and you can fasten the top shut. And what I mean by fasten the top, what I did, I just went like this. I just bent this down. Okay. I bent this down and I just linked it. That's what I did. Okay. So that's what we did there. The next step you're going to have is that you're going to see a lot of gaps in between all the balls. Because the balls are the same size, you're going to see too many gaps, and it's not going to be good, and you can still see the wire. So I went to the Christmas store and I thought, well, what am I going to do about it? So what I realized is that some of the cheap-ass decorations, they're shoving tinsel in between gaps just to kind of give it, it's really just a filler effect. Even though you think it's all Christmassy, it's just filler. So what I suggest that you do is that you run out and go buy yourself some tinsel. In this case, I chose a really thick tinsel that was $1.99, and what you see here is all you need to do is grab your tinsel and just start, and just because this is just one-sided, right? The other side doesn't have all of this tinsel that you can't see. So what you just do is you just tuck in your tinsel in underneath, and by doing that it causes the balls to really compress outward and really be looking full. So you're going to go all the way around with that, and right at the top I provided extra tinsel at the top. So I start at the top, work my way around, and I'm just weaving myself in behind. So if you want more tinsel, then don't push it so deep, and if you want less tinsel, just push it in further. So that was my next step. The next thing that we did is that we looked at it and like, wow, you know, it's still missing something. It still doesn't have pizzazz. So what we did is that we ran out, and Daniel provided and bought these things here for $4.99, and it was a large string of just wire with plastic pink beads. And this was one big long wire, and what we did was we just weaved it and pushed the wire in, and then all the extra pieces that are out, they're actually sticking out. So it gives it a three-dimensional look. And again, it's still missing something, and realizing that the balls, because they're all the same size, it doesn't look as great. So the next step that we did is that we went out and got these small balls, and there was 24 of them for $4.99. And all you got to do is just glue it. You glue it into about the section about on the side, and then you push them. You know how it's got the taggy thing? You just got to push it upside down, and then these are all glued to a big ball that's right beside it. And that's how you complete this Christmas ball wreath, and it's actually a really great project. And I would not say it was a cheap project. This would be probably running about $35–40. It all depends on what tinsel, and the ball is pretty well the most costly thing in this project. So good luck and enjoy.